Hello, welcome back to Sexy's OK Virtual Festival. And here, look at what we have got here. I mean, I thought at first, the ladies would be the attracting ones, but what's catching my attention are these boxes. Play date. And pink, purple, I don't know, like come in different colors.
Is it like for eat? Is this macaron or is it something else?
Okay. I have no idea, no clue what it is. So I'll leave it to the ladies to tell you about. But before I leave the scene, I thought it would be fair enough for me as a host to introduce you a little bit to Jing Jing and Cassandra. So the two ladies here, Jing Jing and Cassandra, they are the founders of Zazazoo. Zazazoo is a sexual wellness platform that they wish to educate females and males. I guess it doesn't matter what your gender or sexual orientation is, but in general, if you're looking to how to enhance your sexual pleasure, they are the ones who are going to show you a tip or two. All right, and I think I shouldn't hold them back. Anything you girls want to share with the audience before I say goodbye for now?
I hope that it's a
And the mic.
Saturday morning. It's a Saturday morning. I think that no one has ever talked about sexual wellness on a Saturday morning. So let's leverage this beautiful time for the audience and have something different during this Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Make 2020 a little bit different this time.
Have a sexy weekend.
Oh, that's the start to that. Okay, and I'll see you guys in a little bit while I hand over the floor space to the ladies.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you. Good morning again from the two founders of Zazazoo. And today we would like to introduce you. We would like to demystify the topic of sexual wellness, especially sex toys. I am Jing Jing. This is my co-founder Cassandra. And a short introduction about Zazazoo. As Angela rightfully said, we are a discrete e-commerce ecosystem to help women, to guide women to explore, experiment, and enhance your sexual and intimacy journey with your partner through 3 product offering: sexual education, sexual consultation, and curation of products, as you can see here, based on your individual needs. As we believe, the mandate we have is that every woman is as unique as a fingerprint. Your preferences and pet peeves are very different than anyone else. So one product does not solve all. Therefore, we seek to understand you first and then curate a beautiful product set for you to enhance your sexual journey. Why we have started this whole crazy journey? We aim to normalize sexual wellness for every woman. Let's start with the girls before we go to the boys. Every woman in daily life, and really encourage women to own our pleasure and really to discover our body and really to create a safe space for women to discover, explore, enhance, discuss 360 around sexuality and intimacy. Okay, audience already, okay, this is boring. Let's get to the exciting stuff. There we go. So today, firstly, we would like to demystify a little bit about the topic sex toys. Do you actually know, if we have made an interview, we have started a poll a month ago before we joined this beautiful campaign, Sex is Okay. We said asked our clients and customers and saying, okay, when you think about sex toys, what is the immediate image you have? We asked our customers, we asked some people from CBD, we asked some older uncle and aunties in hawker center as well. I would say that the expression, most of the time, I remember the aunties were like, 什么东西? What is it porn? And then when we ask more educated audience, I still remember the facial expression when we meet someone and people are like, oh, you really experienced the disguise. And then when we had this poll online, the immediate reaction, what's the first thing you associate with? Is a ugly, real thing look like penis, 10-inch high. And this is simply not true. And this is where we want to show you today what sex toys could be as well. Why is the sex toy called a sex toy, for example?
In the past, sex toys were really created and really manufactured from the viewpoint of men, for men to use on women. So think of it like gadgets, right? It's really a toy for men to use during sex, therefore sex toys. But time has passed. Today, we have many products that have been innovated and designed meant for women to really use them to explore yourselves and really elevate your own sexual experience. I mean, look at all this. Honestly, if I were to put this on the dining table, I bet some of you have no clue what this actually does. So let's go into the topic and looking through the products, and then let us walk you through each of these products, and you can see what we mean here.
Right. So, as Cass rightfully said, sex toy is for men to use on women in the past. That's why it's a sex toy. However, today we have a lot of innovations that products are designed for women by women, meaning that scientifically speaking, men are more, they need to have a picture, they need to see the real thing in order to get enhanced. However, we are visually discrete animals. We want to see beautiful things. And for example, can you imagine what that is?
She sells seashells by the seashore.
I like that line. It is actually a external vibrator, which Cass will go through a little bit earlier. By the way, we both are working in a co-working space here in Singapore, in Funan Mall, which is actually which is called Treehouse, which is a childcare dedicated for moms that are working moms. You can drop your kids there, and then you can pick them up once you are done with your work. We display these products actually on the table, and very often we have kids coming around. Oh, look at there! It's a shell. It's a shell. And then very often we see that the moms are looking at it a little bit awkwardly, and then they don't even know what that is. So since the innovation around sex toy industry has already evolved tremendously, and then we would like to introduce you to some of them a little bit later on. And then, for example, is this a macaron? This is an external vibrator as well. And look at that, how pretty it is. It is a lipstick. It's a vibrator as well. If you can hear, this is some sign that we do have some of our clients going to, in the workspace, and then they just make a little bit of your... Can you hear? This is a beautiful piece of jewelry, which is a vibrator as well. So, long story short, generally, all this kind of product, we have really visually discrete and product that are designed for women by women who know the anatomy of women. That's how to enhance your sexual journey. So beyond that, we also did a poll with around 150 women, and say, okay, what are the mysteries of using sex toys? The most mystery we've gotten here is that if a woman needs a vibrator to have her orgasm, something's wrong with her. Second, if a woman needs a vibrator to have her orgasm, something's wrong with him. Thirdly, vibrator ruin women for sex without them. These are certain misconceptions in the society, because especially in Asian society, we are a society that are still, even we have interviewed many C-suite ladies, and even when they go back home, the please man kind of mindset has been very strongly embedded in our culture. So if you enjoy sex without your partner, does it make something actually, is there something wrong with you? We want to demystify a little bit about this topic. The fact is 75% of women have never reached orgasm through penetrative sex. So the fact that you can only reach, or the minority of women can actually experience sexual enhancement, can experience climax through penetrative sex. And then 60% of the women have never explored their body on themselves. Because how? Especially in this part of the world, it's not encouraged. Often you are living with your parents, living with young kids, they sleep in the same room. But how do you communicate your needs to your partner if you don't know what are your needs, right? So at the end of the day, this is where sex toy actually came to the light, and saying the best way to enhance your journey, it's not the responsibility of your partner to bring you sexual pleasure. It is also your own responsibility. But firstly, you need to discover yourself with enhancement before you can communicate your needs. And then we have also done an interview with some of the very open-minded lady who are partially divorced. If you say that one thing they have regretted in the past, of course, divorce, there are many, many different reasons. But if you ask them one thing that they do regret during their marriage, is really if they would have done everything again, is really to communicate with their partner more, especially in terms of sex. Very often it's because they don't have the pleasure that they deserve, or they don't enjoy it that much. And then life move on, and you are so busy with works, and then you suddenly realize, it's already, it is called in the medical world, if you have sex less marriage is, if you have less than 10 times in a year, then you are actually living in a sex-less marriage. Within our audience, we have tested now, we've done a sexual inclination survey, a sexual
well-being survey.
Sexual well-being survey, exactly, targeting 1,000 women. And you will be surprised. You think that sex-less marriage only exists if we got older, which is not true. We realize that between the range of 30 and 35, this is where women get young kids. Sex life suddenly drop immediately. So that less than 10 times in a year is actually quite frequent. And then if you ask the reason why, go ahead.
It's very easy to get into that state simply because if anyone were to do this once a month, that's 12 times a year, not too far away from 10 times a year into the definition of sexless marriage, right? So I think for somebody who is, or rather for many of us who are actually working mothers or even simply working women, right? Think of it from a career point of view. When you are in the office, you know what you want, you know what results you want to get, and when you disseminate these instructions to your team, they give you what you need. That's how it works at the careers workplace, and it's the same thing in the bedroom. You need to understand what is it that you need and what is it that you want before you can communicate what you require in the bedroom with your partner. Solely leaving it to someone else to take care of it is almost like saying when you go to the workplace and then you say, I need something done, just get it done and then do it the way I like. Without telling them how you like it. What kind of results do you think you'll get? No good, huh? You probably have to redo it like 10 times. So I think taking that from a career angle, you need to be very clear of what you want, and this is really what we want to really bring to light, and the awareness that it's important for you to know what you like, and there's nothing shameful about knowing what you like in the bedroom itself. So I think working ladies, working moms, take charge, because the fact is, once you know what you like, the time to getting what you want for you and both your partner will be shorter, more efficient, and therefore you can do it more often in a year, thereby getting past the state of sexless marriage.
Yeah, well fully said. And then then we also have still, after we have explained, demystify a little bit about sex choice, why do you exactly need it? I mean, despite the fact that discover your body better, to have different kind of sensations, and there are also some medical background. So we actually 20% of the women, this is a global research, have more or less a little bit a kind of mental block when it comes to sex. For example, after childbirth, we have interviewed many women after childbirth, because the birth was so traumatic in a way, they just simply could not open up to their partner anymore. So there is also a term, it's called vaginismus, right? And this is like you experience physical pain inside, which you actually don't have. So this is really simply a mental block. And then we have some of our clients approaching to us and saying, how do I do it? Because if I go to my gynecologist, and then she actually cannot help me because it's not a physical condition. Then I go to a psychologist. He cannot help me as well because he said, okay, it's obviously a mental block. We need to work alongside. We need to go back to your childhood. But I don't want to go back to my childhood. I think it's clearly a trauma that I experienced during birth. So this is where actually we have the expert panel like Dr. Angela, who has started this great campaign. And really to call to intimacy coaches, sexologists, and really to find out, okay, how to remove the mental block in a way. And then in a way that we have when you have other conditions, for example, we have a lot of clients coming to us. They are close to menopause, and they're saying, sex drive, now you finally have the time. The kids are finally away. The colleges are paid up. Now the husband almost retired. Now when you just finally have the time, but you don't have you don't feel it. You feel the lust, you don't feel the drive, and then the husband often is still quite engaged. But then I'm reaching menopause. How can I experience my body? So it's actually proven that if you the benefit of sex toys, instead of taking some medications, there is very little side effect. You have very different sensations through which Cass will explain later on. There are different because vagina as such or vulva as such there are over 1,800 nerves around that area which can give you different sensations, which you simply cannot get through penetrative sex. Meaning that you need to explore, especially during menopause. We have a great client. She's very open to talk to us, saying we are married to a Italian guy. So he is in his 60s, I am in my mid-50s. These guys, they really have drive. Huh? So, and I really want to go along the journey with him, but I simply cannot. It feels dry downstairs, and if you itchy downstairs, I simply don't feel it anymore. So then we actually went through with her with different kind of sex toys, whether it's a silicone base, whether it is external or internal, toughened glass, and so on and so forth. And then with some lubricants, with some other sexual enhancement, it actually enhanced her journey. She has the very first internal orgasm actually through the recommendation we have done. So this is something that you real examples that if you wouldn't try, you would never experience that. So she's. I hope that she will be open to share the story one day. We are engaging her soon for a open talk, really to engage women also in the older age when you just have the time, have the freedom, and how to enhance your sexual journey as well. And then another great benefit of having great pleasure is it actually improves your work performance. Why is that? Because it improves your sleep. It is proven that if you have great sex, in the sense of great orgasm, the body relax. Have you ever wondered, especially the mom as an audience, have you ever wondered that why do the doctor tell you shortly before you're in your 39 or 40th week, what do doctor tell you to enhance, to accelerate?
To speed up the delivery.
To speed up delivery. What do doctor tell you?
Have more sex.
Very counterintuitive, no? And why is that? Because we have interviewed one of our partner is Dr. Ong. She's a gynecologist, and he's the first thing when I was pregnant, he was like, okay, my baby was a very lazy baby inside. He doesn't move. I exercised a lot of jumping around, and then nothing came out. And he looked at me. He was like, "You need to have more sex, no?" I was like, "Oh, it's 39 weeks, no? Did you see my belly? Do you think that I am anyhow turned on to have sex?" He said, "No, because you relax, no." Because he was looking, I thought he was joking at that time, so already almost 3 years ago. He's like, no, because your muscle, when you have sex and when you have orgasm, your muscle simply relax. And this is where you actually help to dilate. Yeah. So basically, and this is the same. That's why when you experience pleasure, when you have orgasm, the whole vagina and then relaxes. It's actually relieve endorphin, and really it's like when you exercise. Why? After you exercise, we all hate exercise, but after you exercise, what you feel relief, you feel more clear, you have more clarity in your head because your body is relaxed in a way. That's why pleasure. And then with sex toys, it's sometimes your partner is too tired, or very often half of our audience don't have a partner. Busy working professionals. One of my close friend, which is big advocate of Zha Zhu, is saying, I don't have the time to engage a full-time boyfriend. I travel before COVID 80% of the time. So bring it on. What else do you have? That's it? Yeah. So it's and then she actually told me a lot of her personal story. Very often is also there are certain kind of hormones she has been taking before she had before she broke up with the boyfriend a long time ago. She was taking an anti-baby pill for a very, very long time. And she was taking this, I think, already when she was 16. time. At that time, the doctor was basically to control a little bit of the period, and when she was younger, the sex drive obviously was more. But actually, when she reached 25, she already experienced that sex drive is going down. And then this is where actually she started to explore, experiment, all these kind of things. But at that time, the sex toy industry were not at that advanced yet. And what she did realize is that, sometimes it's like, through sex toys, you actually experience very different sensations, which you can't experience with your partner. And then later on, they realized it is actually the hormone she has been taking, which has drove down the sex drive, the libido. And then when she approached us, she was actually saying there was something wrong with the whole hormone system, and we directed her to one of our partner who is a health coach. And she actually found it out with all the dietary, how dietary could in fact affect your sex drive as well. And then so sometimes that's why we created Zazazoo as well, to have a consultation, education, and product, really to have a holistic view of sexual wellness.
Yeah, so really when you are not experiencing the maximum satisfaction that you have expected to, it's worthwhile to actually evaluate and maybe just have a chat with us about what has been happening, and then we could really see if there are any experts that we could recommend for you to have a chat with them, because there could be many factors as to why you're not getting the expected satisfaction as you have wanted, because they could stem from emotional, mental, as well as biological. So let us help you to dissect the reasons and really pinpoint where to get help. I think in our survey, the sexual well-being survey, a big chunk, in fact, I was just looking through the results, a big chunk of the people actually says that, yes, we are aware that this is not the best, that the optimum level that we would have liked. We know what we are not happy with, but we do not know what to do.
Yeah.
Who do we even talk to? Talk to us, Zazazoo.
Fantastic. So now let's go to a little bit, what to choose then as sex toys. Obviously, we only work with brand. I mean, this is very interesting. Very often we have advocates of Zazazoo, especially the younger ones, that come into us and saying, oh gosh, your boxes are ever since the cheapest box you sell, an enhancement set, is $179. I cannot afford that. And then normally the sex toy I get is $40. And then we had a frank chat, and then we look at the sex toy. Sex toy industry is unfortunately very unregulated space. Anyone can sell anything. So there are cheap stuff. I'm from China, so cheap stuff from China. So it's politically correct what I'm saying. You can really have cheap sex toy from China. They are rubber, they are from jelly and this kind of material, which actually can become porous very fast. And then this is something that you put inside your body. Really be aware about that fact that you need to choose brands that are safe for your body, that they source properly. But then it's like, people are saying, okay, when do I have the time to research what kind of sex toy? At the end of the day, I go to a sex toy shop, or I go online and I get some recommendation, which is hot sales. Now, Black Friday. Don't let the Black Friday sales become your real Black Friday that really harm your health. Therefore, we say, when we are at Zazazoo, we only work with brands that source organically, source ethically as well. And the brands that then they have, I just talked to one of our partners who is Lelo, and saying, okay, what are the, when you choose a product, even beyond Lelo, beyond any brand, what you need to be very clear of is that what are the best materials? It's silicone, toughened glass, metal, or ABS plastics. And then some of them are made from materials that may be detrimental for sexual health. And jelly and rubber, as I said, are both porous. This is something that's really difficult to clean later on, to maintain a
hygiene, because there could be microorganisms that
Exactly.
actually grow in them. So, I mean, The fact is, China is the worst manufacturer. So let's just go deeper into that. We are really a lot more focused about the material that is being used in the production. Any country can do very low quality products and very high quality. So they range. And here, what we have curated are items that we really feel are safe and comfortable, and of course, a pleasure to look at and to use as well. This is the very important part that we want to emphasize, because a lot of people will tell us, Cass, if I walk around to that corner, I get something $20. Sure, I mean, if you want to put something in you at $20 and then you don't know what happens later. I don't know how much your medical fees will cost in Singapore. But do you want to risk that, or do you really want to use something that's really trusted, curated, and being reviewed by customers who are happy and ultimately get what they want from the products? At the end of the day, we are really talking about the difference in experience. At Zazazoo, what we are doing in terms of curation really is to elevate the entire experience. Be it you start from zero, I have nothing, or you are already very happy with your current sex life and intimacy, and you want to bring it to the next level, right? This is where we really want to come in and help you. If you're the adventurous ones, or somebody who wants to be a bit more adventurous but don't know how to start or where to look into, have a chat with us. If you're a beginner, have a chat with us. I think we can definitely show you, at least with some of the examples here, that there are many different levels that you can start to progress to really understand your own body and really appreciate how you can be happy. It's the same thing. You go to a restaurant, you need to understand, do you like sweet or savory? And then you make your choice when you place the order. If you do that in restaurant, when you go to work, you are very clear what you want. How is it that you take care of all of this in every part of your life, but you don't take care of this in the bed, which actually can elevate all your other pillars of your life because you have good sexual well-being? Because when you're happy in bed, you will actually end up being happy in every other areas of your life very easily.
This is really well said, because we actually have many interviews when you say in the bedroom. We always have a slogan. It's called, before we close the gap in the boardroom, let's close the pleasure gap in the bedroom. The fact is that even we have a lot of we have a lot of C-suite ladies in the saying. In Singapore, especially. So I came to Singapore when I was after living 16 years in Germany. In Singapore, in Germany, if you are a C-suite lady, which is almost never, it's really rare. And then you come to Singapore, that if you are a CEO of a company or a managing director of a company, what's new in that? Sadly, it's if you communicate, we have done survey with this kind of C-suite lady and SVPs and so on. Communication in the bedroom, if they would like to encourage the next generation, we have a great discussion with them in the sense of, if you can ask pleasure in the bedroom, you will be able to ask a salary increase in the boardroom. You can to ask the seat in the boardroom. You can ask the next better title that you are entitled to. It all starts actually from the ground. Because what is the most difficult? Why do women think that they? Why don't we ask for salary increase? Because we don't think we are entitled to it. And this is back to very, very basic needs. If you can't even communicate to your partner or your husband, I like it this way, asking for pleasure, how are you ever going to reflect that in your professional life as well? So we will soon start with this campaign with some of the C-suite lady here in Asia and say, okay, let's help women to gain their confidence from within, and let's start from one of the most basic things, sex. Okay, so then one of the, before we go into the detail of the products, how to maintain a healthy relationship with your partner with the intimacy toy. That is something that most of our clients ask. I think I have already shared enough why this is good. I just share with you some of the testimonial we have. I think that we have gotten from 15 ladies in saying they are in the couple life, are saying that the best thing that Zazazoo have done for us is not the sex toy as part. It's actually, it encourages us to speak with each other. So the biggest challenge very often, if you are, life carry on, if you have a partner, very often you don't have sex that often, or maybe it's just a mechanical kind of sex to fulfill some kind of obligation from both sides, both for men and women. And then very often we have clients coming to us saying, how do I even start the conversation? So now I brought a beautiful dildo from somewhere. Now we both stand in the bedroom saying, okay, what now? This is where Zaza will actually come in, and we're saying our concept is that we curate the experience for you, or any kind of fantasy box we market here is also for it's always a set of products that consist something to set you in the mood. For example, essential oils or a scented candle, and then once you have set up the mood, and then you can have a little bit couple play. Sometimes you have some dices, we have some games, we have some awkwardness card, things that, because let's not take sex too seriously. And let's break the taboo in that way. And then when you already get into the mood, and then this is where actually some of the toys are coming in, and then we guide you how to use it as well. These are the beautiful cards that Kat actually created with the expert we have, how to enhance your journey. After you are done, we have some wind down program, whether it's an intimate cream from tulips, for example, to warm up the vagina, or it could be a facial mask or some chocolate just to give the whole process like a 4-star curated menu. Exactly. So this is where how we are also different than sex toy store. Very often people are asking, why are you different? There are so many. There's a web page here called horny.sg. I was shocked when I was encountered the name as such. Now, how can these are pages that women simply don't feel encouraged to go. That's why we say we at Zazazoo, we do not just give you one single product. We want to curate a experience, a spa experience for you. Very often, Cass always like to use that example that you can go to. I think if you want to go to great massage, I think the uncle on the hawker center, the one who really mechanically massage you, by far the cheapest and the best. But if you really want to relax and then wind down, this is something. You go to a great spa in the Shangri-La, or go to a great spa in Naturalland, where you come in, you have some, you smell something, already set you into the mood. You already relaxed before anybody touch you. So the fact you pay for 60 minutes, but they actually only massage you for 30 minutes, but the whole experience counts at the end.
So if you stretch the experience from using our Zazazoo box, let me give you an instance, right? Close your eyes. Just think about it. Perhaps today you come into contact with us, have a chat with us, and we could be creating a box for you, or you simply land on our webpage to see the fantasy boxes and whichever intrigues you. Maybe this would be a conversation starter for you and your partner, or even just for yourself, even to just sit there and just run through, which of them actually interests both of you and your partner. That in itself is a conversation starter, because none of this are intimidating when you look at them in terms of pictures or even visually. Use that as a conversation starter. That in itself is the beginning of that journey, of that intimacy journey that we are talking about. The act of even browsing together on our website, and then after that making the choice together, or if you want to give a surprise, like, you don't make a choice, let me pick one, and then we shall see what comes up, right? That in itself is the beginning of a journey, and you progress to the next step, anticipating the delivery. When the box arrives, how do you signal that, should we use it tonight? So imagine if I have a piece of jewelry inside that is actually in itself a sexual intimacy toy, and then you wear that today, and he sees it, or there's an essential oil within, and then for that very evening, you actually use the essential oil. You walk into the bedroom with the scent. All these are little signals that really lead up. It's a dance. It's really a dance between the two, right? And it's a slow lead up to the whole process, whereby you eventually check out the items in the box and then run them through, and then with our guidance within how you can craft out the scene and the journey, we actually walk you through step by step when and how you start using them. Start with the candles, if there's a candle being curated for you. If it's a candle massage, then you actually light up the candle, and then as it melts, you can use the candle wax for massage at very comfortable temperature, and that in itself is the touch process that you go on, and it will lead up to eventually using the main toy or not. Even if you don't use the main toy, the whole point here is how do you enhance this intimacy journey together with your spouse? And it all starts from the beginning when you actually have the conversation starter of even exploring it together. We are not talking about replacing anybody. We are talking about elevating this whole journey together.
Beautifully said. I think now it's really the time to introduce to you guys what are there. There are different kind of sex toys. Obviously, intimacy kits. Something for internal stimulation, something for external, something even for the back door, and how we have curated the boxes. I will leave this to Cass as our Chief Product Officer. Maybe we change the seat.
Yeah, okay, we'll do. Cass get very excited when I talk about this, so so maybe my mood will change a bit from just now. Okay, let's start with the cute ones. Okay, this is an external vibrator. So before I go deeper into that, perhaps I give a definition of what external and internal stimulation means, right? Usually, because the whole vulva itself, it can stretch up to, or rather the clitoris organ itself can actually stretch up to 10 cm or more in the body. What you see, usually that's visible on the ladies, the clit, you think that it's a pea-sized, tiny little thing, but no, behind that structure, it can actually go up to 10 cm. So there are many nerve endings there. So this one specifically is for what's visually you can see out there, right? So there are a few of this. So when it comes to those that are for your, what you can see visually as external stimulation. So these are the ones. So they all come with different, they're very discreet, very cute, very nice. Put it on the table. I don't think you will know what it is. For most of the uninitiated ones, right? And they vibrate with different modes. So I think this one have 10 modes. I think this one have 3 modes. And some of them, they vary based on strength, and they have different pulsation rhythms. That's why we say explore, because until you know what is the pulsation rhythm you like, you can't really tell, right? So it's really like you go in the restaurant. Yeah, I love Japanese cuisine, but come on, we have all went into Japanese restaurants that we love and we don't like. Same thing with this, right? So this one, super cute. I mean, if you're the ones who put on lipstick all the time, this is a great piece for your midday pick-me-up, okay? This one, this is so lovely. This is also for external, right? All the items here that we have are actually waterproof or water resistance. So really good for your shower play that you can actually, explore in the showers or with your partner in the shower. Yin yang xi sui. This is really fun. There's another version that actually lights up. Yeah, super cute. So before you actually have fun, it can look like candle lights in the bathroom, and then after that you actually use it. So really great as a decorative piece, even if you don't use it for what it is meant to be. This one, I always like to say she sells seashells by the seashore, because it really looks like a seashell, right? Really cute. And what's innovative about this is wireless charging. So the charging dock is almost like our wireless phone. Our phone, right? You put on a wireless charger and then you start charging, right? This one also technologically really very advanced. So you simply, when you're done with it, wash it up, and then you just put it there, and then it recharges itself. So yeah, correct. Yeah, shape of the vulva. So I mean, at the end of the day, they have many different ways of using. So you see here, there are a lot of grooves here. So whether you want to use it this way, or you want to use it just this way, just to go around it because of the grooves here, this can really give you different types of sensation. And we always encourage that for some people, when you merely focus on the little cleat that is visible, is actually going to be too intense. That intensity may not be comfortable. That's why we always say this external stimulation is very much on the vulva, and we're talking about around the area, right? This can cover a huge amount of area. I think for those who are not familiar, or you get the wrong idea from porn videos, they keep focusing on a very particular spot, but that is actually not so true. So it's really the entire area that you should be exploring with. And of course, everybody have your different likes. You may like them faster, harder, or whatsoever. Give the instruction so that people know, so that your spouse know how to go about that. So we are at external. And
before you go on, I think we have some requests to look at, because you can't really see the toys from so far.
Oh my goodness! So should I like?
Yeah. So, okay, don't worry.
Okay.
Our man here will zoom a little bit closer
Right.
to
Okay.
the toys,
So-
so that our
Is there any special
audience-
request? Which one you want to see?
Yeah, let us know if you have any special request.
Yeah, then I will talk more about it. Okay, so I've been talking about external stimulation, and then let's talk about internal, right? So just now I mentioned that the vulva itself is a much bigger area than you have thought during the act of sex. And when it comes to internal, it simply means penetrative, and this is where it goes. This type of dildos are good for internal stimulation. There are definitely ladies who can reach internal orgasm through internal stimulation and penetrative sex. Like I say, the clitoral organ itself is 10 cm. It's probably about the size of, maybe slightly smaller than the size of my hand. 10 cm now, you're roughly going to measure. Huh? So what you see outside is just a very tiny bit, but everything else is inside. So what you're really trying to stimulate is actually the inside, the underside of the clitoral organ. So we're talking about the entire organ. So the whole concept of if I cannot reach orgasm through internal stimulation, there's something wrong with me. Come on, it's the whole organ that you're stimulating. It's just a matter of, are you doing it from the front of the hand or the back of the hand?
Maybe
Right.
I think this one you can explain a little bit. How you can. I will just hold it because it's easier to.
It's okay, no worries. Yeah. So this one, I think you have a lot more imagination, huh? So this one simply goes in, okay? But the rabbit here, okay? This is what goes in, but this remains out there, right? And this is where this rabbit actually helps to stimulate the outside of what you can see, and this one goes in. So you are stimulating. Imagine if the clitoral orgasm is organ is my hand, then you are really stimulating, right? Internal by inserting, and then external on the visible clit. So this is how it looks like, right? So, right? Okay, so this is what it does. So this is great for both internal and external. And I mean, look at the shape and look at the design. This is nowhere like what we often seen in traditional sex toy shops, because this is designed for ladies to really explore themselves. So yes, by lady as well. So internal, external. Yep. So this one, very beautiful piece. The moment I see this, I was like, oh my god, I must have this in my fantasy box, right? So this is in our Masquerade Muse box. So very pretty orange, very golden, and if you put it somewhere on the table, again, it looks like a glass sculpture. But this is actually for the back door. I don't need to explain what back door is, right? Okay, so this is for the back door, but I would say this is more for the advanced players, because you can see that it's actually it does have a pretty nice length, and for those who are just exploring, you may want to get a shorter piece. And this is glass, so this is fantastic. So whether this is for the back door or front door, glass as a whole
as a material is in fact great. Why? Easy to clean, right? Very easy to clean and really doesn't hide all sorts of weird stuff. Okay. The only thing that you have to be careful with glass is don't drop lah, huh? because even if you drop and it does not appear to have cracks, there could still be micro cracks there. Micro cracks is when then you need to be careful, right? Because you don't know when micro cracks become a real crack. So always take care of them in terms of not dropping them. But otherwise, it is great. Why? Great for temperature play. You put it in cold water, 5 minutes, like ice cold water, 5 minutes. It cools it down. It's a different sensation. Even if you don't use it for any penetrative, it's simply for stimulation, right? Just running it through almost as if like it's a feather. Of course, some people, they want to use ice cubes directly for foreplay. Go ahead. It's just that it's going to be very wet. At the end of the day, when you start using the ice cube in your bed, unless you're doing staycation and then you don't care about the bed, right? If you're in your own bedroom, this is actually very nice because 5 minutes in ice cold water, it gets the job done. But if you're also the kind who prefers warm, then again, dip this into warm water and you get the extra warmth there. Maybe a cold winter night would be very nice. Okay, but I go deeper now into how this is done, right? Okay, for anal sex, okay, just to be very precise in terms, there are some prep work to be done. So if you're a beginner, right, you really need to relax, right, and just use lubrication. There's no shame in using lubrication because lubrication is just something that helps you to ease things, right? And this is a general statement, not just for internal, external, or backdoor stimulation. It always helps. So you could start with just being a teaser and just doing a little bit of insertion just to test things out. If you do not want to go all in, right? Because again, this is just part of the entire play, right? This is part of the entire intimacy journey. So when you are ready, okay, to go all the way in, then this one, do this slowly. Your muscles will start to relax itself, and then you can go in. And one thing that I want to caution is if you are exploring the backdoor stimulation, get a proper tool. You see here, right? There is this end point here, so it almost acts like a plug. Don't be cheapskate and then say, I can use this also what? No. Why? Okay, because our muscles, our rectum muscles, right, is very good at, it is actually constantly moving in some way. Yeah, and it tighten and loosen, right? And so things that does not have an end point here that keeps it there, it could get lost inside. Then you need to go to the doctor already, yeah? Yeah, not a joke, okay? There are many cases where people have to go to the doctors to retrieve things out because they are cheapskate. They just randomly use something to just test things out. But without the plug here, it's dangerous. So don't be a cheapskate, okay? Get a proper tool. Get a proper tool to explore so that there's a proper plug here that can ensure safety. So this is one thing. COVID, right? There's long distance relationship, right? So this one is this model is not, but it's a good demonstration. So this one is for couple.
This is where we curated the play date
Correct.
box.
This is actually from our play date box. So this is a great example to talk about couple use. So this is actually remote control. So this remote control, one partner can hold this, the other one can play around with this and explore on your own. But because of the shape that it is, it's actually ideal to be used together. So even when your partner is in the penetrative act itself, this can go on and be used concurrently together to just enhance the feeling because it vibrates as well. And then if this was used solely by one of the partner, the other partner can control. So you can surprise the partner with varying stimulations and pulses and vibrations. So this is great for, really, if you ask me, this is really great for intimacy because it actually increases the fun level within the sexual encounter. just now I talked about long distance relationship. There are now innovations whereby they can actually be app controlled. In other words, they can be linked up to your phone on the app. So imagine your partner is somewhere else, 10,000 miles away, and then you are here in Singapore in your bedroom, and you could be having phone sex, you could be having, what do you call it? Zoom sex, right? And then you can use the app to control and really just enjoy each other and still have that intimacy despite being away from each other. So, very interesting items here. So all these things that I've mentioned so far, so I have covered the external, and then these are for internal, and then the back door. But beyond that, we do have clients who actually use our box, whereby they use everything else, but not the toy. Because they are already quite happy, right? So we have, like for instance, massages, So this is
Maybe
a very nice.
Differently, like saying, okay, how we have curated this whole.
Yeah.
So for example, the Playdate box we have, because most of our clients 50% of our clients are actually couples. So as I described before, very often it is the case that how do we restart the conversation at all? As Cass rightfully said, okay, we have, for example, we curate this Playdate box as the most common scene for couples, for entry-level couples. So you start with lighting a beautiful candle, which I don't have here, obviously. And normally we start, here, there it is. So it started with a candle, you lighten it up. Everything is described here in the description. And then you already set the scene. Then you can comfortably tighten your partner with a blind, whether it's on the arm, it could be a blindfold on the eyes as well,
Ankle.
and the ankles, and then you can play some nice music. This is something that audio erotica, music erotica, we are exploring that space as well. You can play some dices, saying, okay, let's put some positions. Let's, is it on the dices? There are things like massage me, massage there, and so on.
Stroke.
Exactly, and then we have this beautiful piece of item, which is not a sex toy. It's a massager. It's stone massager, ceramically made, with the massage oil. We have Pickham, which in this case is a aromatic therapy, and then and then you can wear some mask, and then just to. Okay, we wear enough masks, but this is a different kind of mask in this case. And really to enhance, make sex more fun, ignite the conversation between couples. And then, as Cass rightfully said, this is our bestseller. And most of the people report back to us saying, after we have used everything, we actually even don't need this main sex toy at all because we are so stimulated as a couple, we really reconnect and we end up not using that sex toys at all. So thank you for the curation of the box. So at the end of the day, it's really for us to, every box we curate, either is the pre-designed one or the curated box that just dedicated for you. We have a intimacy quiz online that you can tell us what are your likes and dislikes, and then we curate a surprise box basically for you. And it's really always about the whole setup of to elevate your sexual and intimacy journey.
Yeah, so really we want to give you an experience that is aimed to enhance your intimacy. We are never about replacing anyone. I really want to emphasize this because the whole idea of, oh my God, she needs this because I'm not good enough. No, that's not what we are here for. We are here to really bring you on together on a better journey, right? Does it mean that if you can cook at home, I can't go to the restaurant to eat? Come on, guys, right? So, and having said all this, right, let's talk about hygiene, okay? And safety of toys in the sense of lubrication. If you're using lubricants, okay, make sure that you use water-based lubricants because the other types there are many different types of lubricants. For instance, oil-based, silicone-based, water-based. There's a few more others. The thing is, when you use non-water-based ones, they are quite safe with glass. That's why glass is actually very nice in terms of flexibility. But once you start going into this silicone ones, right, soft, slick, nice to touch, really nice, but because it's silicone, right, and you use any other lubrication, it actually degrades the material over time. So always use water-based. That's very important. So in our curation set, sometimes we will curate organic ones as well. So they could come with the sets based on the interaction that we have with you.
And correct there a little bit. Every box we have as a first-time customer, we always have free lubricant.
Yeah,
and
first-time
customer, the free lubricant and free sex toy cleansing as well.
So great point regarding the toy cleaner. So for first-time customers, we always include toy cleaners as well because hygiene is very important. Okay, so we really want to emphasize and re-emphasize again that before you use, wash. After you use, wash. Pack them up nicely so that in our most of our items we always come with a dust-free bag so that you can keep them properly and really store them so that you can increase the longevity of the items and therefore you can have more fun, for a longer time.
All right, I think that we have spent a lot of time talking all these things, and I don't know whether there are any questions that.
Well, I have one question. Also for beginners who wants to start on this whole journey. There's so many types of sex toys with different pulsation, different speeds. Where do we start? I mean, you say explore. I can't possibly buy 30 sex toys and try them all. So where do you suggest we start?
We have in our page, this is not yet integrated yet, but I think for early next week, because we are doing a lot of things on our web development, we integrate our customer feedback constantly. Every of our curation box, as well as the best items that we have picked, will have a entry level, middle level, and advanced level. So for everyone, entry level means that this is maybe you have never experienced, you use sex toys, or you have just explored something yourself. More medium level they have already used once at least. Or advanced level, I would say if you are able to do backdoor, then you are quite the advanced level.
Yeah, so if it helps, our fantasy boxes, I would say the Playdate is actually a nice one for couples. We have the another box. I think Llama is for internal external. It's there. The other one is actually I think Wanderlust is actually quite a nice one as well. So we have 6 boxes. Actually, you could run through them at our website, zazazoo.vip, and there's another one, Girl's Best Friend. Yes. Girl's Best Friend is great for
diamonds are girl's best friend. You missed the main role.
Right. Diamonds are girl's best friend. So that box is great for beginners. So if that's something that you will try out, because you don't only just use it, you can wear it. Check it out, and then you'll know what I mean.
All right, I think that was a very, very interesting introduction about all the sex toys. Okay, does the audience here, do you want anything up close that we can talk about it again? Because I think there was a bit that we didn't quite miss. Maybe perhaps we can zoom in a little bit on those few that you were sharing earlier on. I think the one with the ball and the seashell, the texture, we couldn't see quite clearly just now.
Should I move?
Yeah, the camera will come to you.
This is the seashell. This is the one that's really pretty with all the Japanese designs, right? And then, of course, there's a bullet vibrator.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing intimidating about any of them. I think this is like.
So would you say, right, that we should always be using lubricants with all these vibrators?
I would generally always recommend to use lubricants even without vibrators because this is the misconception very often. I mean, sometimes, because we also got very often from clients, from feedback, I have painful sex because I am not wet enough. Let's just put the words out there. You are not wet enough, though my boyfriend thinks that I am not turned on, which is simply not true. The fact that you are not wet enough could be you are dehydrated. You are living in Singapore, it's damn hot, you did not drink enough. And very often also level of some people they only get wet or only get turned on after sex, for example. So lubricant is a great way to ease things and to enhance the complete journey. So I would always recommend to use lubricants. With sex toys, I mean, especially I think so I'm talking more to the single ladies here. Very often our biggest feedback is that if I want to do something myself, how do I ease in? lubricants. And you don't have to if you are. I have clients also talking to us, oh, it's like down the river there, no? Okay, of course. Congratulations, no need, huh? So it's really just adjust to your need. There is no, you would, as beginners, I would always recommend, and then try one of our boxes or try our products. We will always have, for the first time customer, we always have a small bottle of lubricant for free for you. So try it out. You like it, take it. You don't, no need.
It's like bubble tea, yeah? You want less sugar or more sugar? Doesn't hurt. It's still great bubble tea.
Oh, that was a very exciting. I'm like so excited right now, right? Okay. So Zazazoo has a very special lucky draw prize for us. They have offered a $50 voucher of their boxes, whichever you want.
Whichever curation box or fantasy boxes you want. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are keen on it, put it on the chat, hashtag Zazazoo, and then it will be yours if you're the lucky one that's being picked. Okay, and if not, in your goodie bag, you should also find there's also a promo code for Zazazoo. It's $20 off any of their products. So feel free to use it, and we can explore things in the bedroom in your own time, own pace.
Thank you so much, Dr. Angela, for having us, to giving us the stage. We appreciate, we are very much into female empowerment and empower all the ladies to own your pleasure. I mean, we own a lot of things already, but own your pleasure. And thank you for giving us the stage to openly talk about sex, openly talk about sex choice, such a stigmatized topic. And thank you for the team. And on a Saturday.
Thank you so much, Cassandra and Jingjing. So in the afternoon after lunch, we're going to talk about safety and being sexy. And we're going to teach you a few moves of how to protect yourself in case someone comes and harass you and things like that, all right? So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys after lunch in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. And see ya. Bye.